Yeah, good morning, guys. This today is another day again on the money show. Uh, Today we're just going to have a brief, discussion on the news headlines, and then we'll see how we can have some important news, updates as we normally do the show. Uh, this morning is going to be another very. Sorry, guys. Let me. Please, as you're just coming, just press the share button. Let's invite friends into the show, please. So just coming, let's invite friends into the show. Okay, guys. I'm trying to connect this to my. Yeah. So as you're just coming, just press the button. Let's invite friends to the show. Let's invite friends to the show as we look at very, very interesting and important story this morning. The news, the news headline for today from the Sun's newspaper. From the Sun's newspaper, please, I just come in, just give us some likes. Good morning, ma, Sister Bebe. Give us some likes and just share the broadcast, please. The first news today is Senator Orji Uzokalo will be joining Pastor Chris for Sunday service in Lagos today. Orji Uzokalo will be joining Pastor Chris for Sunday service today. Okay. These men, they steal our money and they run to church. That's what they do. So they steal our monies, then they run to church. That is why today most people are actually not seeing the church as the best place to be because of the way and manner our leaders has actually because the way and manner our leaders have actually taken our churches to be. Okay. Because the way and manner our leaders have actually taken our churches to be. Then we have the National Working Committee deep in crack among PDP governors, Wike alleged. Right now there is a very big problem in the National Working Committee of the People Democratic Party, and Governor Nyesom Wike have been complaining. Have been ranting from all angles from the beginning, right up to now. The PDP campaign fund court quashes fraud charge against ex-minister. There's an ex-minister from the north. This PDP campaign fund have been there since 2015. So he's engaged Femi Falana. Femi Fani Kayode. He's engaged Pastor Isaiah and many other PDP chieftaincy who they thought actually laundry the money that was used. That was a campaign, the campaign slogan of Buhari in 2015, that the Chibo gets money, the money that was supposed to buy ammunition were used in acquiring in sponsoring the 2015 general election. And today we see have insecurity everywhere in the land. Okay, Buhari, Afenifere on the Arewayu saga disagreed on last summer. This Professor Sagi. Sometimes he actually baffles me. A professor of law, they have been all blinded by politics. party affiliation has made these people not to even tell the truth anymore. I'm going to read one or two things because tomorrow, later in the day, I'm going to do a topic on on do we really have a president? By 7 o'clock this evening, I'm going to do a show on what I titled "Do We Really Have a President?" Please stay tuned to that very particular show. It's going to be very explosive and educative and intriguing. Okay. Insecurity. Buhari will succumb to threat, undue pressure, presidency. It was actually Garba Shehu that said that yesterday in many of his series of his tweets that the the restructuring that the entire nation is clamoring for that the presidency will not be succumb to threat. I'm really beginning to wonder what presidential system of government that Nigeria is actually practicing. So that's why I said I'm going to have a very important show later in the day, which says, do we really have a president? Do we really have a president? Okay. Do we really have a president? There's another news again from the Sun said why I pray to God before I sleep with other people's wife. This male prostitute called Baranta. Why I pray to God before sleeping with other people's wife. Bros, anyone that sleeps with other people's wife, God does not actually answer such prayers. Okay? God doesn't answer such prayers. It is wickedness of the highest order. Okay? Vanguard newspaper for today. Top stories. US execute another inmate before Trump leaves office. US executed another inmate before Trump leaves office. Biden in leaked video says Republican beat living hell out of us. That is very intriguing. Okocha order Ikimbas departs. That's another news from the Vanguard headline. Let's see news from the Tribune of today. What does Tribune have for us for today? Let's see what the Tribune newspaper has for us for today. On the Tribune news front newspaper, we have COVID-19 hits army, GOC dies. On the Tribune newspaper, COVID-19 hit army, GOC dies. We have also here Buhari's NAS no show. Signs no one is in charge. Secondos, that is the PDP chairman. 16 killed on Abuja Kaduna Highway. Ganduje causes gunmen. 16 people killed again. Does Nigeria actually have a president? That's the reason why you need to watch this show later in the day. 16 killed on Kaduna Abuja Highway. Ganduje causes gunmen. Cause does not actually solve the problem. So on the front of the Tribune, it said, riot in Port Harcourt as policeman kills motorcyclists over 100 naira bribe. See, the police brutality is still on because their boss actually told them to kill anyone, to maim anyone when their life is in danger. World Bank says 20 million more Nigerians will fall into poverty. World Bank says 20 million more Nigerians will fall into poverty. Hoodlums attack Ogun Assembly, steal mice. The stealing of mice has actually become, a recurrent decimal in the Nigerian system. Now, also on the pages of the Tribune, say PDP lawmakers, lawyers disagree with Malami. PDP lawmakers, lawyers disagree with Malami over Buhari summon. Another very important news is reps may increase Supreme Court justice from 21 to 41. Right now we have 21 Supreme Court judges, but I think the rep might increase it from 21 to 41. How Buhari APC NEC agrees with Osibajo Council to adopt state ESCO as caretakers. Oh, so the dissolvement of the state ESCOs were all handiwork of Tinubu and his cohort. Okay, so these are actually some of the news from the Tribune, Nigeria Tribune. Okay, let's look at this day newspaper. Let's see what this day newspaper have to give to us. Okay, guys, before I go into the main, analysis of the news of today. Please, guys, as I just come in, just give us some likes. This ambassador, this man, this 85 years old ambassador to the United States is dead. Okay, Buhari, late ambassador in Suffolk, was a man of rare courage. Fayemi, youth right to demand good governance and to police cruelty. I pray they listen to you, Governor Fayemi of Ekiti State. IMF Article 4. Nigeria's outlook challenging forest reform needed. President Idaura for week-long private visit. CBN unveiled new policy template for TSA collection. They are always unveiling new policies every day, and yet Nigeria is not moving forward. Okay. They're always unveiling new things every day. Please just come in as you come in, please just press your share button. But Nigeria yet is not moving forward. Okay, so let's go to the main news today, having checked the news headlines that we have today. So let's go to the main news headline today. Good morning, sir. Let's go to the main news headline today. Having now the first news we're going to have today is on Obaseki's election petition. Okay. Edo governorship election tribunal dismisses petition against Obaseki. The Edo State governorship election petition tribunal sitting in Benin City has dismissed a petition filed by the Action Alliance and Ukonga Frank on naive against Governor Obaseki, the People Democratic Party, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Tribune, in a sitting read by one of the tribunal's members, Justice Suleiman Yahaya Abubakar, ruled that in the petition against the first and second correspondent, The petitioner, having failed to file the pre-hearing notice, is deemed to have abandoned the petition. Also, in the petition against the third correspondent, the tribunal held that the pre-hearing notice was not filed within time. The tribunal also delivered its rulings on the respondent oral objection seeking to dismiss the petition Argo Tracy Ubon filed against INEC. The PDP and Governor Obaseki, on the grounds of no compliance with the rules of filing of the pre-hearing notice. Also overruled was the petition seeking to dismiss the petition of the Allied People's Movement against INEC, the PDP, Governor Obaseki, and Felix Shaibu for no compliance with filing of pre-hearing notice, and ruled that there was full compliance on the part of the petition in all the petitions. The chairman of the tribunal, Justice Yanusa Musa, subsequently adjourned the two petition till Monday, 14th December 2020. Now, the case against Obaseki has been one of the case petitions have been quashed. I think that is good for Obaseki. That's one thing against Obaseki. I think we are having some people are happy. Let me look at some of the comments. I said it before, no court in the land can overturn that result, no matter how corrupt the judge may be. That's from Adams F. Young. I said before, no court in the land can overturn that result, no matter how corrupt the judge may be. Vincent Oku said, Governor Obaseki have seen a lot, should be set free. Congratulations, son of man. James Unbeatable Super White says, some people is saying Obaseki don't have good result, but their president don't have ordinary birthday certificate. That is hilarious, man. One Idu Olawati Fishe Elisha said, you need to have a WAEC certificate or pass WAEC before you can become a governor. Abi, you not get WAEC certificate. I think people don't understand what Obaseki is actually doing is this, not presenting a certificate that is a problem now. It is the authentication of the certificate that is in dispute. Okay, some people need to get that clearly. He has presented certificates to the screening committee of the APC during the election time, where the National Working Committee, led by Adam Soshomole, disqualified him on the basis that his certificates were fake. So people need to get the difference. People are saying, Obaseki present a certificate. This is not a matter of certificate presentation. This is a matter of forgery as been alleged. So because it is forgery, it doesn't need to present other certificates. It is the determination of the court now to not determine if the certificate he presented were forged or not. So when people says, Obaseki, because I read a lot of news, on the social media, Obaseki presents a certificate, like, come on, this is completely different from Buhari's own, who had no certificate, but lied under oath to have a certificate with the military, lied under oath to have passed the WAEC. He couldn't present a certificate. He now said the certificate got missing when the WAEC body now actually gave him a certificate later on. The same procedure had been what Obaseki has actually also went through in this whole process. So Obaseki issue is, I have certificates. These are my certificates. But the opponent is saying your certificates are not authentic based on their verification as being acclaimed or alleged. So the idea of you Obaseki presenting a certificate does not even arise. He is only going to the court to defend the certificate he has produced, while the opponent will not to go to court and do otherwise. Okay, guys? Nabi Umar said, democracy has come. The democracy has come to stay for Edo people. Jack Oba said, this is how Oshomole and only 700 million will be shot, will put down. The election was not about party, it was about individual. So with the Edo has rejected Iseyamo AK 70 million naira for good and he is not wanted in our state. One Daniel D. Don Isibo said the Super Eagle game was 4+4 scoreline against Sierra Leone a day before Obaseki inauguration day special to confirm that God is with him. Carry go Obaseki. So, guys, the issue of Obaseki's certificate is not actually an issue as far as some of us or most of us are concerned. Like I've told them before, there's no need of asking him to present his certificate because if he presents again, he's going to come out with what is being acclaimed to be fake. All the petitioner needs to do is to go to UI, University of Ibadan, and demand for his transcript. It's simple. Or go to the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, and demand for a certificate. Or go to the whiteboard and demand for a certificate. It's as simple as that. He said he did ICE, Institute of Continuous Education, where he actually got the balance 2 credits based on what was applicable in his time. No evil talking. Just send someone to ICE and actually see if Obaseki attended or was actually a student at that period of time, based on the fact and the loss that was on ground during that period of time. Please share this video and give us some likes, guys. Thank you very much. The other news I'm going to talk about is ICC prosecutors seek investigation of Nigeria for war crime. ICC prosecutors seek investigation of Nigeria for war crime. The International Criminal Court prosecutor said Friday she had enough evidence to open a full probe into ongoing violence in Nigeria by both Islamic insurgency and the Nigerian Security Force. Fatau Bensouda announcement comes as violence continues to wreak havoc in the Northeast, where at least 76 people were slaughtered by Boko Haram jihadists in the last 2 weeks. Following a thorough process, I can announce today that the statutory criteria for opening an investigation into the situation in Nigeria have been met. Bensouda said in a statement issued at the ICC headquarters in the Hague. The ICC prosecutor opened a preliminary investigation into the situation in Nigeria in 2010, but Bensouda now wants permission from judges to proceed to a full-blown formal probe. Gambia born, he's even a Gambian, Oh, thank you, dear, for standing up for the big brother of Africa. Gambia-born Bensouada of specifically referred to act committed by Boko Haram, whose 11 years insurgency in the country have claimed the life of at least 36,000 people. Around 2 million others have been displaced, according to the UN figures. Boko Haram and its spinsters group have committed acts that constitute crimes against humanity and war crime, including murder, rape, sexual slavery, enslavement, torture, cruel treatment, Bensouda said. But while the vast majority of crime were committed by non-state perpetrators, we also found a reasonable basis to believe that members of the Nigerian security force commits acts constituting crime against humanity and war crime, Bensouda said. This includes murder, rape, torture, and cruel treatment, as well as enforced disappearance and forcible transfer of the population and an attack directed at the civilian. That is really nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. That someone is coming up to actually stand up for the Nigerians who are being killed, who are being maimed by the Nigerian police and also the Boko Haram. Happy time. A full investigation by the ICC set up in 2002 to try the world's worst crime could eventually lead to charge over the violence in the oil-rich African nations, which has been fueled by the Boko Haram insurgency. Bensouda said Nigeria has made some effort to persecute many low-key captured Boko Haram fighters, while military authorities told her they have examined and dismissed allegations against their own troops. I have given ample time for this proceeding to progress, keeping in mind the ICC complementary principle, which means it would only get involved in investigation and prosecution if a member state was unable or willing to do, she added. Our assessment is that none of this proceeding relates, even indirectly, to the form of conduct or categories of persons that would likely form the focus of my investigation. She said, this is nice. This is nice. Farm workers massacre. Boko Haram main group claimed responsibility earlier this month for the massacre of about 78 farm workers in an area outside Borno state capital, Maiduguri, in which dozens of liberals were worn down by gunmen on motorbike. Farm workers were also tied up and their throats slit in the attack, believed to be seeing revenge on villagers for seizing the group fighter and handing them over to the authorities. This is what we witness every day in our country. The massacre provoked widespread international condemnation, including by the head of the Catholic Church. I want to assure my prayers for Nigeria, where blood has unfortunately been split once more in the terrorist attack, Pope Francis said at the Vatican during a weekly general audience early this month. Meanwhile, state security source said 10 Nigerian troops were killed on Monday in clashes with ISIS-linked jihadists in Borno State, which nobody actually put up on the news. Fighting erupted when a team of soldiers stormed a camp of Islamic State West Africa in Alanganot village in Dambo district of Borno State. Alanganot, which lies 450 kilometers from regional capital Maiduguri, is a stronghold of ISWAP, which split from the Boko Haram jihadist group in 2016 and rose to become a dominant force. ISWAP has increasingly been attacking civilians, killing and abducting people on highway, as well as raiding villages for food supplies. Violence in Nigeria has spread to neighboring Chad, Niger, and Cameroon, prompting a regional military coalition to fight the militant group. So that is the update from the ICC prosecutor who is trying to actually persecute the event of what is happening in Nigeria. Another news for today is Nigeria will have 110 million poor people by end of 2020, Peter Obi alleged. The former vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 general election, Peter Obi, has said that Nigeria will have 10 million poor people by the end of 2020. This is going to be serious because the country is going to be it's already in problem anyways, with this COVID-19 and what that is happening within Nigeria today. The problem of Nigeria is going to increase so drastically that the world will be scared of what is going to happen to the nation called Nigeria. Okay, he disclosed this on Friday in Awka, the Anambra State capital, during the PDP Southeast Summit ahead of the 2023 general election. Your country is drifting. It is collapsing. And if you don't do anything, it will set its revenge on you, Obi said. This is a very, very, nice statement by Governor Peter Obi, former Governor Peter Obi of Anambra State. The World Bank released a report. Go and read the report. This year alone, 11 million Nigeria will fall into poverty. The 11 million is on top of the 100 million that is already there. That means by the end of this year, Nigeria will have over 110 million people living in abject poverty. It is important to note that of these 11 million persons falling into poverty, 8 million are youth. Wow. People are not getting this. If 8 million of the people falling into poverty are youth, then Nigeria is about to fall into one of the biggest problems in history. Because when the youth have no job, they resort to crime. And the people at the center, whether it's the federal, the state, or the local government, do not actually care. That's why I said this evening we're going to have a broadcast which I titled, "Do we still have a president?" Because I don't think any nation will have a president and what is happening will be happening and nobody does anything, nobody say anything, nobody move even an inch. On his party, PDP National Chairman Uche Sekondu called on the youth to be creative, innovative, adding that power rests on them. Listen, guys, anytime they want to do something silly, they ask you to be creative. How will you be creative in a nation when nothing has been put on ground for us to actually work with? How are you going to be creative? No light, no social amenity, no financial support, no loan, nothing whatsoever. What is creativity when you don't have a support to actually bring your creativity into being? That's the problem. They just come and said, "Oh, be creative," because if you want to deceive the youth, they try to put the blame on the youth for not being creative or for not trying to do anything. Most time I blame the youth, but the truth of the matter is we are not actually the problem. Even in the midst of all this, if we have an opportunity, we can be able to do something better. I've said in most of my videos how the government can help the youth. He said, go back to farming. How is somebody go back to farming with cutlass? At this age and time, create a mechanized system of farming for them, buy them tractors, give them a parcels of land in government reserve area for farming, and let the tractor help them to till the soil for their crops. You're going to see people are going to be interested. But still could go to farm, you are still you want them to still go use the cruel method of farming. None of this shit is going to do that. In the olden days, most of these youth who were farmers were naturally educated. They're not educated. But not like this present youth we have, who have gone through the walls of school, who have spent 5-6 years in the universities, with strike put together and all that and that. You want them now to go to farming in the cruel method. How much farmland can they be able to till? that it will not be enough for them to actually take care of their families, to actually reduce the rate of poverty in the country. I think these are things that they really need to start talking about or to start saying. But nobody talks about that. That's the issue. Nobody actually does talk about that. Nobody cares. Okay? Secondly, saying we need to be active, creative, and innovative, adding that power rests on us. Yeah, the power actually rests on us. But what are the chances being given to us by the government for us to be able to display that creativity, that innovative, nature that is in us? No, nothing. They've locked us completely from government. They locked us completely from financial institutions. They locked us up from practically everything. So what are we going to do? I can use myself as an example. I went, I think 2018 or thereabout. I had some good money in my account in Nigeria. I called the bank, First Bank, precisely. Please, I want to get a loan to buy. Well, there was a property a man was trying to sell, about 40 rooms hotel. Okay, I needed some loan to buy that. They said no. They said no. But these people actually saw the rate at which money flows into my account and out. But they said no. Even when I gave them all documents of my landed properties all over the state, they still refused. But the big men will go there without no collateral and they will get billions of naira from the banks. The reason why it is not actually the banks alone, it is the policies that was put in place that is actually reducing the youth from accessing loans. So how can we be creative? How can we be innovative? With what? With our hands? Even when we create something and we needed help, support from the government, do we get? The answer is no. It's not. We don't get anything. So according to the position, the party leadership has created a policy to initiate policies that will empower the Nigerian youth. In the World Bank report, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic could increase Nigerian poverty rate by as much as 15 to 20 million by 2022. Oh God, I'm even wondering, does our leaders actually read any of this report? Do we really have a president? Somebody is getting this scary news, this very scary news, yet they are not bothered by it. It's getting me a little bit worried, guys. Somebody is getting this scary news, but yet they aren't bothered by it. I don't know. Somebody is saying at the end of this year, 11 million Nigerians will slide into abject poverty by the UN report. The government is not thinking about that. All they do is nobody's going to threaten us. Nobody's going to do this. Nobody's going to do that. Why you are already at war with yourself? Because of the high rate of poverty in the land. What causes insecurity? The first is poverty. Poverty is the first thing that actually triggers insecurity. A big man will not want to die. How many of us in Europe today want to go to Nigeria and die? How many of us in Europe today would want to go to Nigeria and die? It's not there. We don't have any. The reason is big men do not want to die. When I mean big man, not you mean overreach. Anyone that is comfortable will not want to die. If even these insurgents you talk about today, if these guys were actually having something to live on, they were well to do, they were of the middle class, none of these guys would want to go into arms carrying against the state. The reason why they are doing it because the state has actually abandoned them. And hearing this scary news of having 15 to 20 million, poor Nigerians between now and 2022, and the government is not even moved by it. I have not yet heard of any news where they are doing, strategic planning on how they can be able to avert this very particular prediction from the World Bank and the United Nations. They don't care because they have all the securities, attached to them. So they are not even worried. They're not worried. They're not worried. Every ex-governor has a security attachment. Every minister, president and former, they have a security attachment to them. So they don't really actually care about what you say. They have a private jet at the back of your house that they can flew in and flew out at will. So when the case is becoming tough, they jump into their flight, leave the country, and they will go to another mass country where people actually worked to have a better environment. That's just what they do, guys. Listen, guys, people are just on the social media space saying things that is not even important to what we are passing through in Nigeria today. Nigeria is sliding. It's going into probation, completely going into extinction if we are not care is not taken. And that's why I'm encouraging, if you are living in Europe, guys, we need to help our nation. We need to help our state as Edo people. We have no other place to be called home. You might live in the United States, you might live in Canada, you might live in the United Kingdom, you might live in Sweden, or any part of the world outside the domain. Outside the domain of our nation. We are not from here. We are it from this land. We must support our land by massive investment. No building of houses. Houses does not actually increase the value of a nation. It is gainfully employment investment that actually increases the value of a nation. And I hear some people saying, if anybody going to Edo State have to think before relocating. Guys, you don't need to think. That is your home. Relocation don't mean you're going to stay home permanently, but investing in your home is one thing you cannot shy away from. Don't let anyone deceive you that if you invest in your home, your money is going to be wasted. I'm going to promise you, it is not going to be. I'll be clamoring for a cooperative among the people living abroad so that we can be able to go back home, put an investment in place, and have people help us monitor it for a better tomorrow. The world is collapsing on its own. So you need to return back to your base when the eventualities definitely creep in. Let me say something here before I continue with this news, guys. In the late 80s, early 90s, and to the to the early 2000, we all know Italy, Spain, and Greece was one of the most viable places for African immigrants to live in. They had jobs in abundance. Money flows like rain. Many people, migrated to these countries in the late 80s, early 90s, and up to early 2000. They actually went to these, nations and lived. They made so much. But the difference is this. I'm not against anybody that is from there, but I'm trying to make a point. The difference is this: many of them did not actually invest the money they made from those countries. Many people naturally did not invest the money that they made from those countries. And what did they do? They squandered the money based on this same, mentality that there's insecurity at home. If you invest your money is going to lose. So don't bother investing their money. Many of them build houses. They end up eating the money. And when the economy of these countries collapsed, many of them could not go home because they had nothing to actually fall back to. These guys who were actually big, well-to-do before in these three respective countries have to start looking for a relocation to other part of Europe. And some of them went to America and Canada and to begin life afresh. So if anybody begin to tell you, oh, do not invest home because home is not good. Bros, sister, that guy or that person is not your friend. That is the fact. I am an advocate of investing in your home. I've run a business here in Sweden. The tax system is outrageous. I still live, you're going to live from hand to mouth. You're not going to have the life you expect to have. That's number one. Number two, you are improving the economy of this place. There is a reason that you left home. You must put that at the back of your mind. There was a purpose. You didn't leave home because you just want to live. You left home because something was actually not working right that made you to decide to leave home and come here to these nations where you live. So having had this unnecessary comfort that you got in another man's land, you decided to abandon your home because you feel it is unsafe or it is not good for business. But let me shock you, brothers and sisters. Foreigners are trooping into Nigeria to invest in our economy, and they are going away with billions of naira on a yearly basis. There is a new chicken processing plant in Akwa Ibom being put there by the white people. ShopRite is there. Jara is in Edo State. Go to this place, you're going to see different companies from the foreigners coming into our nation where we would think there is nothing at all to write about. They are actually making us dry and exporting our money to their own nations. It is only a man that does not have a business acumen that will tell you do not invest in your own home. You can never be a big man in a foreign land based on the financial capability that you actually had as of today. Okay? Because the more we do that, the more we put the nation at risk. And at the end of the day, we're going to be people without no home, like the Black Americans today, who are being tossed here and there because they don't actually know their ancestral homes anymore. I don't want to be part of that group of people. That is why I'm so very conscious, letting my children to know you have a home. You are not a Swedish. No. You are a foreigner carrying a Swedish passport. You are a Nigerian by birth, by blood, by genetic. I must always make them to be aware of who they are. And the only way I can make my children to have this desire to return home is when I begin to invest and they see my investment. They will be pleased with their dad, having given them a comfort life back home in Nigeria. Good morning, ma. You don't tell people to go home when you have not actually produced something for them to live on. Children have been getting free benefits. This is the reason, guys. Get this now. Say, my children cannot go home. Who told you? Who told you they won't go home? Bukola Saraki was born in London. Himself and the entire sisters were born in London. They returned home. I know many politicians' children that were born in London that returned back home today because their father had actually prepared the ground for them. But when you refuse to invest in Nigeria, that's my children don't come home. Why would they go home? When they've gone home with you for once, they've seen nothing on ground. They've seen nothing on ground that will make them to return back home. You've created nothing, absolutely nothing. Why would you expect them to return back? To do what? I'm asking you, to do what now? So, guys, anyone that is trying to deceive you, do not invest home, is an enemy of the state. All we should be talking about is working out modalities on how our investment can be secured. No nation will advise its citizens outside. Let me shock you guys again. Do you know Israel was developed by the Israelite outside? China was developed by the Chinese outside. India was developed by the Indians outside. They work very hard. None of it that live in the US will understand what I'm saying. The Indians work so very hard, even here. They work so very hard. They live a very low life. They repatriate every kobo they make back to India. Sister, okay, good morning, ma. Amina, good morning. They make so much money, they repatriate all the money back to India. That is how India today have now become a site where Nigerians go to, fight to go to. People made it who it is. Go check history, guys. Stop discouraging people. By 2022, we're going to have additional 20 million youth that will slide into abject poverty. That will be about over 130 million Nigerians will be poor by 2022. Do you know the risk we are facing? Do you know the risk we are going to face? I'm one of those people that advocate that government can't do it alone. I've been saying that from the beginning, that government can't do it alone. I am an advocate of that. If you watch me, I've never come to this show to accuse Buhari not providing jobs. I have never done that. Even when I don't like Buhari's government. You know, I tell Buhari every day, give us security, give us light, and we'll fix the economy. That's all I tell them. That's what people talk about Obaseki not providing jobs. I said, it is not the job of Obaseki to provide you jobs. All I need is an enabling environment for me to do the job that I want to do. So we're trying to discourage ourselves not to do anything home. It's wickedness to your country. You are not being patriotic. If you're one of those guys, you're not patriotic. I'm just being very frank today. Somebody come here and say, hey, Pa, you every time you only just think of Africa. Every time all your money. Listen, guys, in Europe here, I have nothing in my account. I've said it many times. I have nothing in my account in Europe here. I have nothing in my account in Nigeria there. Every money that I get here, I invest it immediately in Nigeria. In my state. All my businesses, all my properties are in my state. I'm too attached to Nigeria as a nation. That is my nation. That's my country. And I'm too attached to Benin, to Edo State. Because that is my state. That is my city. I don't joke with it. Yeah, no, man, listen. Yeah, I understand. Insecurity doesn't change anything when we are ready. You know, the issue is this. Maybe before you just came in. The insecurity situation in Nigeria. Good morning, Stafevo. The insecurity in Nigeria is as a result of poverty. Did you just said now that by 2022 we're going to have additional 20 million poor people in Nigeria. As of today, based on the World Bank report, we already had 110 million extreme poor people in Nigeria. Get what I'm saying? Now, how are you going to reduce insecurity? Like I said, the first reason for insecurity is poverty. I want to ask here now, people watching me now, we are about 46 or 48 now. How many of you will want to die? I mean, is anyone here? How many of these people here watching me will want to actually die? I want to pick up arms against the government. Nobody. Do you know why? Because you are a little bit comfortable. That's the truth. Because you are a little bit comfortable. So you are of the middle class. And because you are of the middle class, then you have this mind that, why should I die? At least I'm not suffering. You don't want to commit crime because why? You know you committing crime will not deprive you of your fundamental human right to freedom. And when there is no freedom, the wealth you have acquired become useless. You do not want to commit crime. This is what the white men use in reducing crime, not police. In Sweden, you hardly see policemen on the street. Hardly see policemen. Hardly. I've never seen an army, a navy, or an air force in this country in the last close to 20 years I've been here. I see police once in a while. Like I said some few days ago, the door to my house here is glass door, not even bulletproof door. Yes, my sister, not even a bulletproof door. Glass door, not even bulletproof glass. Even my house is a double house, like a villa. So when all the rooms are up, no rooms down, just the parlor and the kitchen that's downstairs and the visitor's toilet. Okay, so if we are sleeping up, anybody can break this one and pick everything in the sitting room. But nobody does that. Do you know why? Because there is massive employment, which gives room to these people to be engaged. And idle mind is the devil's workshop. The government cannot feed over 206 million as at yesterday, based on the National Population Commission. Nigeria is 206 million people as at yesterday. So that means if you and I can do a little to take people away from the street, it will reduce the high rate of killings, kidnapping, criminality, and insurgency. Do you know the reason why people go into Boko Haram? Let me shock you, sir. When they are signing in for Boko Haram, their parents are paid about $500,000 in the north. That's the news I got, the information I got. So, a man who had about 20, 30 children, a man who had about 20 or 30 children is too poor to even take care of them. And some of them are even on the street as among there is. As Leman, the one we call them in Benin. Those guys who sleep in motor parks, at Ring Road and all these other areas in marketplaces. Now, somebody now comes, okay, we want your child to join us. We're going to give you $500,000. The man willingly hand over the child to them because he has so much that he cannot be able to take off. But if this man is well to do, like the senators are, like the presidents and the governors are, nobody wants his child to go and die. That is the fact there. So anybody saying don't invest in your state, they are actually not supporting the state or the nation. You create an environment whereby you should be thinking of how will I go to invest in my nation and my investment does not go down the drain. And many of the investments that have gone down the drain in Edo State, let me use an example, are caused by brothers. 90% of the investment we have invested as a diasporans in Edo State that went down, that collapsed, are caused by our brothers. When I mean brothers, including in-laws. Okay, including in-laws. Many people I have spoken to, I'm a victim of that. And many people. So that will not stop you, even in Sweden, even in Europe, in Italy, in Spain, wherever you live. It's also what we call bankruptcy. I know of many companies that are bankrupted here in this country. As good as the economy is, the business still got bankrupt. So, okay, now the latest World Bank Nigeria Development Update report tagged Rising to the Challenge, Nigerian COVID response, said that in the next 3 years, an average Nigerian could see a reversal of decades of economic growth, and the country would enter its deepest recession since the 1980s. Yet, let me read this again. Hear this again. The latest World Bank Nigerian Development Update report tagged Rising to the Challenge. The government cannot rise to the challenge alone, my brothers. You and I must support them. Underline. Today, I remember in 2015, 13, 14, 15, I sent my mother 10,000 naira. It was 13, 12, 13, 14, 15. 10,000, 15,000 in a month. It was enough for her to eat. Then a bag of rice was less than 8,000 foreign rice. So every other thing, that was enough. But today I can sell her 50,000. You don't reach anything. You don't buy anything. To take fish down to the market is one bar, it's one what they call it? One cellophane. As of today, she takes fish down to the market, they come back with one cellophane. So we also are being affected by what is happening there because we have a tie to that place. Except you don't actually have families back home that you need to take off. Okay? Said that in the next 3 years, an average Nigerian could see a reversal of decay of economic growth. A reversal. No first thinking about that now. We are not worried about that. This is dangerous. And the country could enter its deepest recession since the 1980s. The first recession was also caused by this man, Buhari. We have had 2 recessions now. They said the other one is going to come out. We're going to come out of the other one next year. I hope so. But the rate at which things are going, I heard now that bag of rice is now 45,000 naira in Nigeria. And the minimum wage is 30,000. Back in the Edo State, I mean. Minimum wage is 30,000. A crate of eggs now went on 200, went on 300, depending on how big it is. A chicken is now around 4,000 naira. So I don't even know how our parents are going to do this Christmas. I don't know. With the COVID-19 issues in Europe that most of us don't have jobs anymore. So how are we going to actually take up them? A bag of cement is now 4,200. A tube of sand has now gone to around the 80,000. So everything is just going. Yesterday I called this guys normally carries a caravan because I have one caravan in my farm. I want to carry it to another site that I'm working on. A caravan that was being carried within the state for 60,000. They were telling me 200,000. So guys, you can just imagine where we are going to as a nation. We are the hope. We are the hope of that nation, of that state. We are the hope, particularly with the Edos. We have nothing in our state. It's the pure civil servant state. We actually run Edo State with our money. And the mistake we have made all these years is we have allowed our parents to live a extravagant life without thinking that we are going to have a time like this tomorrow. I think that's the mistake we've made. And I am one of those who's trying to correct that mistake by telling us it is time for us to actually invest. Imagine you are a farmer in Nigeria. Imagine that. You are a rice farmer in Nigeria. You're going to be a millionaire in a year. Imagine you are a poultry farmer in Nigeria. You are from abroad. You're running a well-established poultry farm. At least of a 10,000 beds. Guy, 10,000 birds, if they produce egg every day, 1 egg every day minimum, there's some birds that produce 2, depending on the rate of feeding, anyways. So you're getting about 333 crates of egg every day. So multiply 333 crates times 1,000. You get it at 3,000 every day. So multiply 3,000 times 7. No, sorry, you are getting 333,000, not 33,000. You're getting 330,000 every day from egg. So multiply 330,000 times 7 to make up 1 week. And multiply the 330,000 times 7 times 4 to make up 1 month. So you are running into around 30-something million naira every month from egg production alone. Yeah? People don't understand that. Or just like the way Ambassador Matthew BK came here on goat, on pig farming. He tried to analyze to us where a pig, fed can be sold for as high as $250. That is over 100,000 naira today. So, and he says he normally butchers 70 of such peaks every week. So if you put 70 times $250 in a week, then times 4 in a month. So you imagine how much is making a loan from that. Guys, if not, we are going to go into recession. The more recession we go into, the more insecurity we get. Because Bele no know whether food not there. Bele no know whether food not there. The moment Bele is work, Bele is bad, Bele is bad. Bele doesn't understand whether there is food or no food at all. According to the Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Shuban Chaudhuri, if there are no measures to mitigate the impact of the crisis, the economy could shrink up to 4% in 2020 following the twin shock of COVID-19 and low oil prices. Nigeria is at a critical historical juncture with a choice to make. Underlined, with a choice to make. Nigeria can choose to break decisively from business as usual and rise to its considerable potential by sustaining the bold reform that have been taken thus far and going even further with an even greater sense of urgency to promote faster and more inclusive economic growth. See that now? So this is a fact. I'm just reading a fact to you guys today on what we need to do as a nation. Okay, I have two more news to talk about. Then we'll be done for today. Please, if you love this, this broadcast, please just try to give us some likes. Okay, guys. Now I am on machineries. Zulum, Professor Zulum, the governor of Borno State, says more personnel needed to fight Boko Haram insurgency. But I thought the man said Boko Haram is better now than it was in
A lot of recommendations have been made, especially by you. You suggest that mercenaries should be employed, especially because you think that the Nigerian army is short-staffed, as it were. Well, the defense minister, we spoke to him on the program yesterday, and he was quite skeptical about that recommendation, saying that, well, we have all we need within the Nigerian armed forces. So just how far are you willing to go with this recommendation?
While these recommendations are very valid, for anybody who wants to say the right thing, there is a need for us to follow these 6 recommendations. One of such recommendations is for the Nigerian government to look into the possibility of a coalition with its neighbors, especially the Republic of Chad, to clear the shores of to defeat the insurgents in the shores of the Lake Chad, with the Cameroonians to defeat the insurgents in the Mandara Hill. And I think for now, we need mercenaries to clear the Sambisa, to defeat the insurgents in the Sambisa Game Reserve. This is very important because I'm in this business for about 11 years.
One, he ended by saying he's in this business. So insurgency is not a business to these people. You see, number 2, he said the Nigerian state is okay a few days ago. That even it was even far better now than it was in the time of Jonathan. Jonathan never actually had the missionaries into Nigeria to fight against Boko Haram in his time. Jonathan actually defeated Boko Haram all by the Nigerian soldiers. Okay? You know, this is why I say patriotism. There's no patriotism anymore to most Nigerians. No patriotism anymore. We have lost that patriotic nature in us. Okay. Now, I read, said the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has restated the need for more military personnel and mercenaries to be deployed to the state to fight insurgency. According to the governor, there are still 3 major strongholds under the control of the insurgents, and there are currently not enough security personnel. I wonder if they are if there are 3 only major strongholds, why do you need more soldiers? Because under Jonathan, there was nothing like that. Okay, let's just read on. So, according to the governor, there are 3 major strongholds under the control of the insurgency, and there are currently not enough security personnel. Zulu said the shore of the Lake Chad, the Sambisa Forest, and the Mandara Hills are the most affected by the insurgents who invade and attack communities and return to their hideouts. These people actually know where they are. Why have they not killed all of them? That's the one thing I don't understand. They know where they are. Why are they still keeping them there? Maybe we'll know later. There is a need for the Nigerian military to take the war into these critical areas. The governor said on Friday during an interview on Chinese TV Politics Today. Beyond that, he believed that for the war on insurgents to truly be won, the federal government should engage the security forces of neighboring countries. Yes, you are right. The Nigerian Air Force had done a great job in using the airstrike to bombard the space, etc. But military operations have to be followed by some stabilization mechanism. One of the recommendations is for the Nigerian government to look into the possibility of a coalition with the neighboring, such as Lake Chad. The governor said this while reacting to the recent killing in the state, and particularly the killing of at least 43 farmers in Zambamari area of the state. Farm were laid on their way to their rice farm, which they were harvesting before the surprise attack happened. While the state is still trying to recover from the loss, with the government working towards making appropriate compensation, Solu says so far, relative peace has been restored and residents are now able to go about their regular businesses. Guys, the problem with Nigeria is, like I said, is lack of I'm gonna use now. Patriotism. Our leaders are not patriotic. Their followers are not patriotic. No nation progresses when the people are actually unpatriotic. I think I heard I don't know which state yesterday that the policeman killed a keke napep driver because the keke napep refused to give him 100 naira. There was riot again. It is at the high level of unpatriotism that leads a nation to where we are today. Nigeria, as the sixth oil producing country in the world, has become the capital of poverty in the world. They took over from India. Okay? They took over from India. And today, we have become the world capital. Okay, this is okay. God bless you, man. It is so painful. These people, they know what to do, but they don't want to do it because they actually benefiting from the crime that is happening in the state. They aren't interested in what you do because they are only concerned about the benefit which they are going to get. Listen, an average Nigerian, think of what he's going to get from the government. In Europe, in America, people go into politics to serve. In Nigeria, people go into politics to be served. You even see, even in the social media space today, few of us that have influence in the social media, we act like gods to those that are just coming in. We have most of us have already got this unpatriotic, gene in us. We are blaming the government. But let me shock you guys. The government is you and I. I'm serious. I just said, go to the social media space today and see what is happening among the social media presenters. That will tell you the mindset of a Nigerian person. These guys live abroad. Many of them have been abroad for 10, 15, 20 years. But the mentality that they see operate is still Nigerian-based mentality. Yes? See Nigerian-based mentality. They still have that thinking as a Nigerian after spending so very many years here. We blame the government every day. You are the government. I am the government. How many efforts have you made to change your community? That made governance. Governance is from bottom up. In your own home, as a father, you are the president of the house. Your mother is the vice president. Or the local government chairman, or the governor. Anyone you want to call yourself. That's why Obama says education begins from home. Charity starts from home. Everything your child learns actually begins from home. None of these people stealing today in Nigeria, go check their history. One way or the other, their parents are involved. A man that is operatively brought up will not consent so low into stealing. A man that is properly brought up will not consent so low into taking of lives. No. I can't even watch a man killed. No talk of me having the nerves to kill someone, either with gun or with whatever, instrument. It's even difficult for me to dupe someone. Very, very, very difficult. I will never have peace. So, if the government is bad, then you need to start thinking, looking at yourself. If I get to that place, am I going to do something worse? If I become the governor of Edo State tomorrow, not I'm going to do it saying, what is your character? Because, the government is bad, and many of us, we are 419s. We live abroad. But we are 419s. We have no job. We live on people's sweat. Now, if you decide to give such a man power, who actually already had this mind of living on other people's sweat. So what do you not think such a man will do when power is not being given to him? He's going to see the state as his mugu. He's going to see the local government as his mugu. So definitely he's going to end up stealing what was given to him to keep, without caring about the consequences on the people that owns what is stealing. Just like 419, they steal people's money. They will hear the woman have committed suicide. They will still do another one tomorrow. Yeah? They steal people's money. They will hear, oh, this woman has committed suicide over. They don't even care. They hear the news. They laugh over it. Say, Namugu be that. Mugu fall, Gama chop. They go ahead. It's the same way our leaders are doing to us. They don't care. They are not bothered. All they feel is they have what they want, and they are ready to go by it. So you, as a Nigerian who have not gotten into political power, what are your plans? Won't you be different from the people who are actually dead today? If somebody will tell you, don't invest home, and so the person want to become governor tomorrow, how is he or she going to make a better nation? I was said out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. To a man who says, don't invest home, you live abroad. And you are also having this notion of going home to go and contest for political positions. So what are you going to do when you get home? When the reality is not done on you, that the government alone cannot fix employment. There is no nation in the world, even the America, even the China we'll talk about today, that the rate of employment in China or in this developed world are being controlled by the government. No. Even as communist state as China is, private businessmen are still involved in the day-to-day running of the China economy. You know what I'm saying now? In the day-to-day run of the China economy. Even as communist as it is, as close as it is, there are still individuals that are actually carrying the economy, ahead with them. That is how it works. If you cannot support the development of your state because you are not there, then you are actually one of the leaders and the problem of the state. So leadership is not about you being in a position of power. Leadership starts from the grassroots, from the bottom top. In your home, how much have you contributed to see your child go through school? Let me also shock you guys. Do you know in the time of our great grandfathers, every of our grandfather owns a house, either in the village or in the city. Every one of them have a house. Go check. Every of our grandfather or great grandfather, they own a house, either in the village or in the city. So that shows our own grandfathers also has. Most of our fathers also own a house. If you're around 45 upward, your father own a house, minimum of one, either in the village again or in the city. Most of our fathers also own lands in the village or in the city. The breakage began in our generation. The reason is this: our fathers did not make it no more a priority the way their fathers did. That is the leadership skills I'm talking about now. So this whole thing we are experiencing in Nigeria today did not start today. People had already given up on the country many, many decades backward. What we are experiencing today is the aftermath of all that had happened in the past. We can make the difference. It's our time we rise up And please, on those of us on the social media space, people follow you guys. We have people who believe in what we say. Let us begin to speak what will change Nigeria, not what will bring Nigeria down. We have no country we have no other country today to call our own. Even despite you are an IPOB member, you are an Oduduwa, this grandson member, you are the great Benin descendant member, or the Midwestern wherever, guys, we must build the nation called Nigeria. Either we build it or we destroy it. The government needs us as much as you and I need the government. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot go away from the fact that Nigeria is in their need of your investment as a diaspora. Your investment can reduce the insurgency. Your investment can reduce the high rate of criminality. Your investment can reduce the high rate of kidnapping. That's what you see. The other time I brought our father, Ambassador Matthew Beke wife here to talk to us about pig farming. I brought this lady, Ago Blessing, to talk about how to start up a business with it or nothing. Because the moment people are engaged, their thinking of committing crime reduces. I was talking to a teacher here, one of these teacher who teaches children here in Sweden. I said, why do you also always give these children? Because they pack so much job for these children in Sweden. So much jobs. They close from school around 3. They give them assignments, sometimes about 5 assignments. As you are finishing the assignment, they're asking you to go and play football or basketball or whatever game you play. You're already ready to go for training. I think you come back by 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, you are dead tired. You are just eating on the chair, you are sleeping. I said, why do you people actually stress these children like this? She said, the reason why we do that is we make them not to have time to think evil in their head. So they leave home 7 o'clock in the morning, they go to school, close 2 o'clock, get them around 2:30 or 3 o'clock, eat, 5 o'clock, they're already running to training ground. They train till 7 o'clock, get them around 7:30, they're already dead tired, they eat, they go to bed, they wake up again the following day. So that is the routine that they get. The only time they have is Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday is on Friday, they give them ×2 of the homework they give to them on daily basis. So they also keep them so occupied that they will not have that time to start thinking to commit evil. That is governance at the grassroots. Do we get that today in our institutions in Edo State or in Nigeria? That children are being bombarded when we're in school in those days. I remember when I was in primary school, you are going on vacation. Then we have this, what they call the... Come on. Examination aid. You know, there's people they call examination aid then. Examination aid. Those days. They will give up page to go and do mathematics. You will solve. They have to create a time whereby you will not have so much time to think outside the box. You are being locked up. Then your parents will come in also. Why do I love farming today? It was actually my parents that taught me how to farm. My father was a principal as at 1980. He was a principal. So then, to anybody that's a principal, then that's when I graduated and know what is happening. It was a principal. So anybody that was a principal then was a big guy. It was a way to do big guy. Okay? But yet he was a farmer. Why do I have so much, ado for farming today? He actually made me to have that. My grandmother was a nurse. So she was an auxiliary nurse. She was a farmer. She made so much money as an old woman, but yet she was a farmer. Every time we finish from school, they would take our books to the village to go and meet her. We stayed the whole village, sometimes 1 month, 2 months with her in the village, helping her to do her farm work. Then we return back home when the school is about to begin again. So this was how, crime rate was being reduced. Children were being preoccupied by activities. Then we play street competition, football, even race on our own. These things have gone out of circulation because of the rate of unnecessary bigmality that are brought as infused on Nigeria, particularly the adult people. We now look at children, in a prison yard called gate. Pampering them above what they are supposed to have gotten. Then when our economy falls down, in order for them to sustain the level you have put them without no hard work, they resort to crime. For my youth, I know that for you to make money, you must work hard. That has been my motto. Like I said, those of you that know me, I was having a farm at the back of my father's house because my father had 100 by 110 plot. So at the back was big. I farmed there. On the side, I farmed there every year. I harvest yam, maize, many things. Pepper and all, I plant them, I harvest them. I was rearing chickens. I was rearing duck. Every year, at the end of the year, I must give my father a cock. For this Igwe festival. I was number 10. I was number 10. My father had 14 children. I was number 10. Okay, guys, I buy myself clothes then. Because we were taught that hard work is the only way to success. It's the same thing we need to bring back to our children and our brothers today. We need to invest in Nigeria. Don't say Nigeria is a right of no. Don't say it's a right of no. You cannot do that. The country you live in is not your own. You are a stranger. Some people will remember me when our children will be treated the way we are being treated today. The segregation is high in this country where we live in. How do you not want to be here anymore? For real. Do you think I'm not comfortable? I am comfortable. I get all the benefits I want to get from them. The monies are there. The pleasures are there. But is this my home? No. It's not my home. I have a home. People fought to keep this place like this. People fought to keep the country where you are like that. So I need to find a way to go home. Should I go home to a country that is like this in Nigeria? No, I need to join the government to fix the country. I have a part to play. I have learned a lot where I live. I have accumulated a lot of knowledge that I can be able to, disseminate to my people when I'm back home. That is why I decided to make my show completely different from every other show on social media. People might not like my show because I'm not controversial, but I will continue to stay on this line of development and promotion of good governance. I'm not a politician. I'm not affiliated to any political party. I support good things. I stand for what is good. I defend what is good. And I fight for what is good. My fight today is for us to have a better Nigeria that you and I will be proud of tomorrow. We can't do it. We can. If only we decided to change the narratives. There's no need of hiding behind someone else's nation to claim your own. Bros, not be your country. It's not yours. It can never be yours. When the ships are down, you will start relocating. I said it before. Many people relocated from Spain, Italy, Greece, to UK, to Canada, to Sweden, to Germany, and other European countries that are today living with UK, with Greece passport, with Italian passport, with Spanish passports. They relocated, looking for a better life. They abandoned that nation because of the political situation in that nation. What about if tomorrow UK decide to go into recession, or Sweden does go into recession, or now that America is at the brink of civil war because of this, election tussle between Trump and Biden? What will you do? This is how we need to start thinking. This is how we need to start acting. That you can be able to understand home is home. No place like home. No matter how comfortable you are in another man's house, it is not your house. I'm going to end with this. Guys, if you're a slave, no, not a slave now, because there's no slave anymore. If you're an ass girl or an ass boy to Igbinedion, if you're an ass boy and ass girl to Igbinedion, that does not make you a member of Igbinedion family. You can live with Igbinedion for 40 years of your life as a driver, a maid, or whatever it is. You can get all the accolade that is accrued to Igbinedion because you live with him. You can get all the compliments, the financial support, wherever, the bribing, wherever you can get it while you live with Igbinedion. But the truth of the matter is, brother, you are still not an Igbinedion. Other people will respect you, but the Igbinedion family will never see you as one of them. That's true. You might even be living in Igbinedion mansion in Okada, but yet you will not be regarded as an Igbinedion, no matter how long you stay there. You might even born all your children in Igbinedion's house, and they live in Igbinedion's house. You will never be recognized, regarded by Igbinedion, by the Igbinedion families. Other people can see you as an Igbinedion, but the Igbinedion family can never accept you to be part of them. That's how we are in diaspora. Okay, that's how we are. We eat all their food. We are like living in Igbinedion's house, having all the social benefits that they get. We get everything. But one thing you must come to your mind is you are not an American. You are not a Swedish. You are just a passport holder of those nations. If you like, get to the 20th centuries 20 generations is there in America. We know what they are passing through. So, no be news. Go to Brazil. Go see what they are passing through. No be news, guys. It is there. It is happening. It is possible. But you can change the narratives when you decide to be part of making Nigeria great again. Trying to infuse the little knowledge you've learned in the Western world to develop Nigeria. Israel built, the Israelites built Israel from the knowledge they acquired from all over the world. Israel had been in slavery until 1944, at the end of the Second World War. So there was not actually Israel till 1944. That Israel, the word Israel came around from 1944. I think around 1946 to 1946. That's when Israel actually became a nation. But because of the knowledge and wealth they have acquired all over the world, while they were going home to their own land, a desert was given to them. Actually, a desert. They turned the desert today to be a fertile land, whereby they are now the highest producer of some crops to the entire world. I'm very sure why the Israelites were still, these ones were not born there. They're being in exile. So even these children who returned back to Israel land were not even close to the descendant that left Israel millennia ago or centuries ago. And why the war, Second World War came, the target of the Second World War were the Israelites in Germany, known as the Holocaust. These Israelites that were being massacred in Germany by Adolf Hitler, the Nazist army, were not Israelites that came from Israel. They were Israelites that were actually living, born, bred, nurtured in Germany. These Israelites actually speak German as a language. They weren't foreigners. Like, oh, we got foreigner people coming in from. No, that wasn't true. These are people who their life had all been held in Germany. But when the war started, they were the focus. Do you know why? Because from the beginning, despite they got all the benefit to go to school, to become engineer, to become scientist and all, the German Nazist group never believed that they were part of their nation. They never believed that. They never believed that. It was not in their DNA to accept the Israelis as Germans in Germany. They got all the benefit they need to get, but when the war broke up, they were the first target of the Germans. The same thing. They might not kill us now, like the way they did in those days. They might not kill us now, but the truth is they have a plan that you can never be us. Your children can never be us. Please, guys, start taking your children home. That's right. Start developing home. Do something home. So that when your picking go, you'll be happy. One of my friend, my very close friend, he took his children home for the first time this year. A 17-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, and a 9-year-old girl. And I'm very proud of him that the guy has actually done a lot back home. A lot. That when his son, a 17-year-old boy, who is just 18 now, is my son. I asked him, boy, are you going to go back home? Because he said, Pastor, I would love to go back to Nigeria again. He said, I love Nigeria. And I told the father, I said, my brother, you did well. Do you know why he said he loved Nigeria? After 17 years of not visiting home. He loved Nigeria because the father had actually made a plan for them. So when they went home, there was no difference between the Europe they were living in and the Nigeria they came to meet. The man has a good business back home. The guy has a very good house. They had light practically 24 hours of the day by the help of the solar and the generator that the father put up. So they were actually lacking nothing. They leave the house, they goes into an AC car, and they were happy for the one month plus they spent. They were so happy that they want to go home again and again and again. That is what I'm talking about. Don't discourage if you can't do it because of your own level of thinking. Allow others who have what it takes to invest invest. Do not create any form of discouragement on them. Nigeria is actually the best place you can invest and make your money out if you go the right way. I'm telling you, is the best place in the world as today in which you can invest and make your money out if you go the right way. Why do you think the Americans and the Chinese are fighting over Nigeria? Why do you think every day the South Africans are running into Nigeria to invest there? Why do you think the Lebanese, the Malaysians, all part of the world are running into Nigeria to invest? Why do you think so? Do you think that they are stupid? The answer is no. They actually know Nigeria is a virgin land, ready for investment. And the ability, the possibility of you making your money out is 100% sure. If not 110. In a short time, we have the labor cost, the lowest labor cost in the world as of today. So I don't understand why somebody will say, because why we fail? Why we fail most of the time is either our family misuse our money, or we have no idea of the business we are going into. So don't blame the economy. No. Even here, they must ask you questions about the business you are going to, even before the bank gives you a loan. Here in Sweden. They must ask you about the business you are going to. Do you have knowledge of? If you don't have, they will not send you to the job centers, who will not train you on how to manage such businesses. Yes. So these are facts that we almost know if we actually want a more better Nigeria. So many of us invest in businesses we have no idea of. Like I'm an example of that. I invested in a business I have no idea of, and I lost it. Number two, many of us are becoming too spiritual. Instead of us going to read about the business, doing research about the business, we start praying. Start using anointing oil all around the premises of your business center. Well, actually, you have done nothing to know the business mechanism and methods. Like a power thing about pig the other day. You start praying, leave the money, putting anointing oil on all the waters of the pig, and the pig is having diarrhea. The pig is dying, you are binding and losing. Every witch that is killing my pig every day die. Bros, all the pig will die. The business will fall down. God will fold his hands and watch you because of ignorance. True. So, investing in Nigeria is one thing that I will employ every diasporan to start thinking. Do you know you can buy lands in the village and just plant palm tree alone? Only palm tree. Only palm tree just plant. Do you know how much is being made from palm oil all over the world? Do you know? Do you know what palm oil is being used for all over the world? Only palm tree, just plant only palm tree. Do you know how much you're going to make from palm tree? After 4 years, if you plant the knife for palm tree, do you know how much you're going to make after 4 years? If you have a very big, maybe let's say 30 or 40 acres of land, bros, you're going to be a millionaire. You will never lose. That's the truth. So, guys, let's wake up. Let's see that we need to help Nigeria to make it great again. 7 o'clock this evening, I'll be talking on what I titled, "Do we still have a president?" It's going to be a conversation, an interactive session. I'm going to put up the telephone numbers for every one of you to call in and contribute to the show. Yes or no? Do you still have a president? Yes or no? That's going to be the topic tonight. So, guys, stay tuned. 7 p.m. Central Europe time, which is also Nigeria time, as we discuss this very important and interesting topic. Thank you guys for your time again. Sorry, I need to wake every one of you up every morning right now, but this is what I just feel I should do, just to update us on what is happening, and also to try to talk about Nigeria as a whole and how we can make Nigeria a better place. This is the only way, this is the contribution I can give to Nigeria as its citizens. Thank you. See you again 7 o'clock later in the evening. Have a nice day, and God bless every one of you.